Well, good early morning, compressed air friends. So I wanted to show you guys one of the AI tools I've been working on here. We have a AI-assisted root cause analysis tool here. And all this really is just an online form that asks for some basic information. So we want the the technician name, which we will put in, client name, we'll just call it Ace Manufacturing, contact on site. Let's say that's a fella named Gene. Location of failed equipment. I put that in there just in case it's, a site that has multiple buildings or something like that. You can say it's in building 5, or maybe in this case it's in the boiler room, whatever. Data failure, let's just pick Friday. So equipment make, not going to be a Solaire because they never fail. Let's pick on Quincy today. Let's say we have a Quincy QSI 1500. It's a big dog. Serial number is a UTY something. Running hours, I don't know. Let's say it's got 30,582. Explanation of the problem. Let's say we had a high temp shutdown. Corrective action. Well, let's see. How about we replace the thermal valve? Okay, so just that little bit of basic information. We are going to submit. And now that our form is submitted, usually takes about 10-15 seconds, something like that. Do 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 do. There it is. And kablam! There is the email it sends back. Pay no attention to that little notch there. Somebody dropped my tablet. I don't know who that was. That was a while ago, though. But anyway, you can see we have our technician name, our client name, contact on site, make, model, serial, all that information. And then here's where the AI comes into play. So identify the problem, high temperature shutdown. So we use a 5Y format for this. So why did the high temp shutdown occur? Because the thermal valve failed, preventing proper heat regulation for cooling and leading to an uncontrolled temperature rise, blah, blah, blah. Why number 2, why did the thermal valve fail? Wear and tear, material degradation or exceeding its operational lifespan, blah, 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 blah. Why number 3, why did the thermal valve experience wear and tear and degradation, This suggests either an unoptimized preventative maintenance schedule or lack of monitoring for its health. Why was the thermal valve not replaced or maintained before it reached critical failure? Current preventative maintenance schedule or strategies do not adequately account for the specific lifespan, maybe a lack of predictive maintenance data or component-specific replacement guide, blah, blah, blah. Why is the maintenance schedule or strategy insufficient for critical components like the thermal valve? There is a lack of detailed component-specific reliability engineering, insufficient data analysis for past failures, or absence of robust critical spares, blah, 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 blah. Points to a systemic gap in maintenance planning, potentially due to resource allocation, historical data oversight, or reactive rather than proactive maintenance philosophy. Root cause summary. high temperature shutdown was ultimately caused by a systemic deficiency in maintenance planning and strategy. Oh, I love that so much because it's so true. And then it goes on to give you some preventative measures, optimize your PM schedule, review and adjust preventative maintenance, data-driven, explore and implement predictive maintenance techniques, i.e. thermal imaging, fluid analysis, vibration monitoring if applicable, health of critical components, critical spares inventory, establish and maintain adequate inventory. I mean, this is just, it gives you all kinds of really good suggestions here. Technician training, ensure technicians are trained on component specific failure modes and blah, 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 blah. So, what this is really for is not so much for the customer, but more if you have your technicians doing this in the field and maybe you have a central email address or something you can have these sent to. I program this to send it to my personal, or I should say my work email address, but any email address will do, or it can even be a dynamic thing where the form would ask for an email address and then the program would send it there. But this is more to get these root cause analysis in the hands of the folks back in the office who can then lighten this up maybe a little bit, I guess would be the best way to put it, and present those options to the customer, of course, those being revising the preventative maintenance plan, implementing some of the predictive measures, things like that, you know, whatever is acceptable for the situation. But really, I tried to make this so that the form itself requires as little information as possible, so that number one, we're not bogging down technicians with more paperwork, and number two, so that even the most inexperienced technician can fill this out, even if it was something where maybe a more experienced tech went and did the diagnostic, ordered the part, and then the less experienced tech came back and actually did the repair. Well, that less experienced tech has enough knowledge to be able to fill out that form and get this into the hands of the people back at the office. So, this is an AI tool that I built. It's not limited to the 5 why root cause analysis. If there's another one you like better, it can be customed to that. If you like maybe like a Sigma 6 lean or something like that, whatever it is, it can be customized to do that as well. I just like the 5Y because it's been around since I think like the 1950s or something, or 70s or something crazy like that. It's been around forever. A lot of places use it, so a lot of people are are familiar with it. Another scenario where this is really helpful is there are some companies out there now that when they have a piece of critical equipment like an air compressor fail, they require some kind of a root cause analysis. So something like this can really save you that time of having to sit down and go through that. Again, you can put a pretty minimal amount of information into a form and let the AI figure it out for you. So like I said, I think this is a pretty powerful tool, especially if you have clients who maybe you've been trying to present some more aggressive preventative maintenance with them and they are just not having it. And then something like this fails, well, now you've got a really quick, handy dandy tool that you can come back to that customer and say, hey, look, you know, we did a root cause analysis on this failure, and you know, this is what it came back to. It was basically lack of maintenance. So we really need to step up our game here. So anyway, this is just one of the AI tools I've been working on. Plenty more coming. So yeah, like I said, I like this one a lot. This one's pretty cool. If you like it, you want it, let me know. We'll work it out. All right. See ya.